If I were the devil, if I were the Prince of Darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world. I'd have a third of its real estate, 4/5 of its population, but that would involve some criminalizing, so I would need to become the president again to pardon myself. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the politics and the elections first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. Seek help in unseemly places, even foreign governments who are not friends of my homeland. I mean, after all, if they'll help me, how bad can they be? And of course, if I don't win, then it must be rigged, because I am not a loser. After all, it's just what I do if I were the devil. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to congressmen and Supreme Court justices as I whispered to Eve in that garden, "Do as you please." Only the best would come to work with me in Washington, till I need a scapegoat for something or other. Then they will each become not very bright or in over his head or fake news. Horrible and unfair, crooked, corrupt, lying, sleepy, and of course that one fellow whose dad was involved in shooting JFK back on that terrible day in Dallas. To the young adults, I would teach them that doesn't matter how you treat your peers well or not. Doesn't matter if you cheated on that exam or if those grades were really earned by you, no matter what. What matters is that you win, that America wins, and I personally come out looking great again. Not them, not the country, not America, me personally. No matter what cost. After all, it's what I would do if I were the devil. I would convince them that I created the COVID vaccine, that caravans of migrants invading our shores, famine and pestilence and wars, and I alone could fix it. Oh, and I invented Covfefe too. I would confide what's bad is good, what's good is commie, leftist, Marxist garbage. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father which art in Washington. As I raise their prescription costs, destroy the environment, cut their Social Security to the bone, and ensure that Obamacare doesn't care for anyone anymore. And then I'd get organized. I would tie up every courtroom from Atlanta to Colorado and even dull old Maine. From New York City to Palm Beach, Florida, I would fight and lose in every court case brought against me, not so I could claim what a prodigious criminal I am, which is of course the truth, but rather how everyone is picking on me. I'd threaten TV with The Apprentice 2.0, The Revenge of Omarosa. I'd peddle low-quality, overpriced condos to whomever I could get approved, regardless of their eventual ability to pay. After all, it's what I would do if I were the devil. Why, if I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves. The whole nation would be at war with itself, until each in turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames for free. If I were the devil, after all, they could not look away. I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Let those run wild. That certainly worked very well for me. Why, if I were the devil, I would take important family holidays, not to spend with my family, of course, but to air grievances against my foes on a computer in all capital letters so everyone will know just how angry and upset I am. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and those who want until I had most everything in my pockets or those of my enablers, domestic or foreign. And what do you bet I could get whole states, whole countries to agree with whatever I said was so, despite plain evidence in front of their lying eyes? Youth would follow in my thrice divorced footsteps, not even bothered to marry in the first place. I would convince the young that marriage Marriage is old-fashioned, you see, and swinging is more fun, and what you see on TV is the way to be, and thus I could grab you by your genitals in public, and nobody will believe you when you try to convince others it actually happened. It's what I would do if I were the devil. I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure, and using lies and racism and pure hatred for your fellow man, I will lure you into a ballot box for which there is no forgiveness. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what Donald Trump is doing. If I were the devil. Not Paul Harvey. Good day.